Ok. Fala, meus queridos!
Tudo bom? Sejam bem-vindos a mais um vídeo aqui no canal. Hoje a gente vai fazer uma aqui e fala com a minha amiga Jill. Ela é a minha amiga americana, mas ela já morou no mundo todo, inclusive com brasileiros. E a gente vai falar um pouco sobre as diferenças culturais do Brasil e dos Estados Unidos. E ela não tá entendendo nada que eu tô falando agora.
I don't understand anything.
E a gente vai falar um pouquinho das diferenças culturais, a gente vai falar dos estereótipos, do que a gente acha que é verdade, o que a gente acha que é mentira. Trocar um pouquinho de experiência, principalmente ela que já viveu com os brasileiros. E a gente vai fazer uma maquiagem enquanto a gente conversa e a gente tá bebendo. Porque não, né? É sexta-feira, então a gente merece. Se você gostaria de assistir esse vídeo sobre diferenças culturais com uma americana falando do Brasil, continua assistindo esse vídeo. Solta a vinheta, DJ.
My name is Jill. You might remember me from such works as a High's LA vlog. And I just like to hit you back with another Jill's Portuguese word of the day. My Portuguese word of the day is mamilo. You're welcome. Thank you.
Eu não sei onde ela aprende essas coisas. Definitivamente não fui eu que ensinei. E eu não sei se vocês lembram da Jill. Ela tá em vários outros vídeos meus. How did we become friends?
We met at a party.
Yeah.
We met at a party. It was High's ex-boyfriend's party. Don't bring that up now. She's married. We just hit it off, you know. We just clicked, and that's our love story.
Yeah. Jill was my first American friend.
And I'll be the last if I have anything to do with it.
Yeah, we've been friends for like 2 years now, right?
High is not my only Brazilian friend.
You gotta tell them that story of like you living with Brazilian people. She was a model and she lives all over the world because
Yeah, I
her
travel
job is
internationally. I go for 3 months at a time, and you'd be surprised, but the majority of models are either Brazilian or Russian. So I've spent plenty of time with Brazilian people even before meeting High. And I've lived with a lot of Brazilians. So I lived with 7 Brazilian guys, and they were all in their either early 20s or mid 20s. And you would expect living with men that they would be dirty, at least in America. You know, you don't expect men that age to be really well house trained. But I was really shocked.
That's the Brazilian moms.
And these guys, every week, they would have a cleaning day, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, you would never see American men that age doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, we really like to clean, and it's not just like, I feel like here when I see families cleaning with the families that I lived or something, people like to vacuum and dust off things, but they never move the furniture to clean underneath it. So I feel we have a little bit of a difference on that aspect. Also, like, when we're talking about cleanliness, I feel like Americans don't, I know that this is not particular you, but people don't take a lot of showers as much as we do in Brazil.
I am fully aware of that, and it upsets me. But it's true, Americans don't tend to shower like that. We don't think it's necessary, and we also have the idea that it's really bad for your skin.
Yeah.
Which it is.
I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, my first family, like I took 2 showers a day, and they were like, why do you shower so much? First family that I live with, they would only let me bathe the kids twice a week. And that for me was so weird.
It's gross. It's not just weird, it's nasty.
Yeah, but for me, that was the first impression I had on Americans, you know? So that was one of the things that I didn't expect, but I also felt like it's a big cultural difference.
Yeah, I mean, we can only speak in generalities, obviously. Like, not everybody fits this bill or fits the mold on that. We aren't trying to claim that, so if you don't do these things or you do, we aren't passing any judgments. We're just talking about our own personal experiences.
What would you say you think it's like Brazilians' stereotypes? Did you see that to be true?
One of the most prevalent stereotypes in America about Brazilian people is that they have really nice butts. For example, the Brazilian butt lift. You know, we have a procedure specifically called that because we believe that your people have the nicest butts.
Not lying.
Most of the Brazilian people I meet are models, so they don't have big butts anyways. So like I don't have a lot of experience on seeing whether that's true or not. High here has a pretty nice butt. I don't know enough Brazilians to say whether that's true or not.
I would think that's true.
Why are you saying bad things about my people?
Get out of here.
Obviously there's the stereotype that Brazilian people love to party, which is 100% true.
Yeah.
It's 100%
That is
true.
true.
I'm sorry if you're a Brazilian who doesn't like to party, but just in my experience, some of the best parties I've ever gone to have included Brazilian people. You guys know how to do it over there.
Yeah, I believe that. I was really disappointed when I came to America and when I went to different clubs and bars.
Bitch, me too.
I was a bit of a party animal in Brazil. I really like to party. And then I got here, and of course I was underage, so I couldn't go to clubs or anything. But when I was 21, when I was able to go, the clubs closed like 2 a.m., which is completely sucks. People don't really dance, and the dynamic in the club is just like you go there so you can sit on like someone's table, or it's cool if you have a table and if you have the money to pay $400 for a bottle.
So, it's not that much fun.
Yeah, it's not fun. The music's not fun, and it closes at 2 a.m. People start arriving at midnight, so it's 2 hours of partying. I don't understand how that works. All the music that was like
party until the sunrise,
or like party all night, they're so completely lies.
Or like party till it's curfew and everybody needs to go home.
Because my idea of America was like, woo, party, Project X. I've never
Movies
been
are
to
misleading.
one. Definitely. I think the idea of America is misleading because of movies. You come here and it's nothing like the movie. What would you say was the weirdest thing like you ever saw me doing and you were like, dude, that's really weird?
When you put ketchup on your pizza.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was really, really weird. I tried it and it was delicious. And I thought it was just a you thing, right? I thought it was just something you did. So I asked them all, like, is that something normal to you? Do you put ketchup on pizza? And they were like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, that is a normal thing. And olive oil too.
Oh, another thing that I think is not weird, but very different is your willingness to show your butt cheeks.
This is when I first came here and I was buying swimsuits, I was like,
oh my god, they have so many.
But you put them on and they look like diapers. I don't know why. In Brazil, we don't really talk about the fact that all our butts are out and we're comfortable with that.
I am not at all comfortable with that.
Yeah, but here is like a big thing if you have your, like the bikinis. I'm gonna put pictures here so you guys can see. American bikinis and Brazilian bikinis and swimsuits. They're just like different sizes. I particularly find the American ones super ugly because it makes you look like you're wearing diapers. But once, the first family I was taking care of, I went to the pool with the kids with a Brazilian bikini I brought from Brazil. And I got looked at very badly. But we were talking about food, and like one of the things I think it's so weird and disgusting, and I've talked to you about this, is like when Americans eat pizza or a macaroni or spaghetti with milk. I just think that's so disgusting in my head. I posted it recently on my Instagram when JD did it. My friends in Brazil, Brazilian friends, texted me saying that they do that too, and I'm like, what kind of monster are you?
Anybody who does that is wrong, and there's
That's
a special
so
place in hell for you. Americans might do that, but this American does not, and I want that on the record.
Yeah,
I don't want the internet thinking I'm a pizza milk drinker. As an American woman, a lot of you Brazilian ladies out here might not understand that because you're getting it all the time. But in my opinion, Brazilian men are some of the smoothest in the world. And trust me, I have talked to men from a lot of different places.
Can you explain what being smooth means?
Yes. So they just have game, you know, like they know the right things to say, they're very flirty, and they're very confident. You know, and American men are none of those things.
Like every girl, we download Tinder, start talking to people, because one is a way to know people, make friends, and like practice your English. 2, it's a very easy way to get free dinner because here guys will take you out, not always, but the common sense is that they would take you out for a dinner
and pay for
a date, like a serious date. While I was in Brazil, I feel like people just meet up in a place while their friends are there, so they meet and then they split up again. But just like there is this thing where he like pick you up and then you guys have a date and everything. And there was this one guy I was like really into, and we had this whole date. We went out for dinner and then we came back to his place and we watched a movie, and like we were like kind of cuddling on the couch, and he didn't kiss me, and I was like, okay, that's weird. The guy doesn't like me. I was like, oh my god, what's wrong? Like, we spent all this time together. He seems to be enjoying himself a lot, but he's not kissing me. So I thought, okay, he just doesn't like me. But then he kept talking to me and then asked me out on a second date. And then he kissed me on the second date. And I was like talking to other Americans, and that's like a common thing that happens. Guys are not very direct, and I feel like in Brazil there is the good side and the bad side to this, but guys are like more aggressive and they're more assertive about being interested in you, and they're like sweet talkers and things like that. While in America, guys are more like chill, you know,
Terrified of women.
Yeah, I feel like the women here take the initiative.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
lots of the cases, the woman has like to go after the guy, like chase a guy.
Which is a good and a bad thing, you know, because less men aren't interested in approach you. But I don't know, for me personally, I prefer the Brazilian way. Another thing that's really culturally different is Americans are not as touchy as Brazilian people.
Yeah.
Like, not even remotely
That's true.
close. Like, we do not kiss on the face.
Nope.
Like, or on both cheeks.
Yeah, when you're saying hello to someone, that's something I had to learn the hard way when I got here. You don't hug anyone or give a kiss on the cheek.
I do.
They usually give you the hand for you to give a handshake, or they would just say hi from a distance. And you never, when you're leaving a party or like a get together with friends, you would never go and say bye to them individually. You'd just be like bye, or you won't even say anything, just leave. That's not considered rude here. Whilst in Brazil, if you go to a group of friends and you're only talking to someone, to one person, and then you go and say hello to this one person and you don't talk to everyone else in the group, people will think you're snobby and rude. Time for another shot.
Time for another shot.
Saúde.
Oh, saúde.
Saúde.
Brazilians don't know how to drink.
Essa foi uma afronta. Ah!
Now it's time for lipstick. Oh shit. How do you say lipstick?
Batom.
Batom. Bésame? Is that Spanish?
That's Spanish. Beijo. That's.
Oh, beijos, BJs to everybody out there. I had one Brazilian roommate and I was teaching her English. She spoke no English at all. She was messaging this one Italian guy and she typed out BJs.
Beijos. Quando a gente fala beijos em português, a gente tá falando tchau, a gente fala BJS, né? Beijos.
So he responded with like a ton of question marks, like what? Because when you say BJs, it's short for blowjob in America, which is
Significa boquete.
Boquete. What stereotypes do you have about Americans, Hi? And like, were they changed? Was your mind changed by meeting us, or?
Yes, a lot. I mean, I think everyone has stereotypes on their heads about a lot of things. I feel like there's a stereotype that Americans are fat, and at least here in Virginia, I don't think that's true. I know it is true.
A lot of Americans are fat. We have a high obesity rate, but
your food's also shitty.
our food is delicious, number one.
Okay, it tastes delicious. That's not what I'm saying.
That's why
it's
we're
really
fat.
bad for you. It's really bad for you. A lot of junk food. That's a stereotype that Americans eat a lot of junk food, fast food. That's true. The Americans are like really selfish and lazy.
True in my case.
There is a misconception about Americans being cold, and I feel like it's just because in Brazil we say that we're warm because, you know, we meet someone and we can become friends instantly, and we're very extra nice to everyone compared to here where people just like, if they don't like you, they won't pretend that they like you, or like right away when you meet someone, it's like harder to get to know them or get them to warm up to you. It's not the fact that they are necessarily cold, they just take longer to trust. They just take longer to trust and consider you a friend, and like, hey, I care about you and I trust you. So and they have different ways of expressing it too.
It probably took me about a year before I trusted Hi.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
How long?
We're a little bit less of a trusting people, I suppose. I would say it is harder to become friends, but you're also in an area in America where it is much harder to make friends.
And I feel like adults here, most like grown-ups, and I call it grown-ups who are like 30 over and a half, they shit together. They're just here like working. It's not a area where people have a lot of fun. Because when I first got here, I got to hang out with some of Jill's friends or acquaintances, and I just felt like most people were really like spoiled and snobs. Like, people like to talk about how much money their parents have. There's fake people everywhere, and not in America, and not just in America. There's a lot of fake people in Brazil too. But I feel like here, people have like a weird way of going around saying things that aren't true for no reason. I'm not saying it's everywhere. I'm saying this area that we are. Everyone that I met, every time we would sit down with a different group, someone would be like, talking shit about someone else that I was hanging out before.
Well, it's because there's nothing to freaking do here. Like, if you aren't causing drama, what else are you gonna do?
True.
This is the richest county in America.
In America, yes.
And so you can kind of expect that people are gonna be a certain way. And obviously, I'm not a proponent of stereotypes. And I'm not saying that just because you're rich, you're snobby, or just because you have a lot of money, you're gonna treat people badly.
Yes.
But it just so happens to be the case for a lot of the people here. And I'm sorry that you had to come here and have this experience, you know, because this isn't the America I know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not my experience, you know.
But you know, at the same level that I met a bunch of shitty people, I also met a lot of great people, you know, so there is the good and the bad everywhere.
We can talk about our cultural differences. We can say this, that, and the other about like how we do things differently from place to place. But ultimately, we're all just human. We're all just people. And we're all just wanting to be loved.
Oh, thank you so much for being in this video doing makeup with me. We are totally gonna get wasted after this.
I'm not,
for sure.
Because I don't believe in drinking the devil's liquid.
Então, galera, esse foi o vídeo com a Jill. A gente fez uma maquiagem e conversou sobre cultura, mas gostaria de lembrar, como a gente falou várias vezes durante o vídeo, que essa nossa experiência, isso foi o que a gente viveu, e a gente generalizou as duas culturas 100%, mas que, né, obviamente cada um é diferente, então, por favor, não se sinta ofendido. Esse vídeo não foi pra generalizar ninguém, eu colocar um estereótipo, né, uma etiqueta em ninguém. Eu sei que cada um é diferente, age de uma forma diferente. Eu sou do sul do Brasil e sei que no resto do Brasil as pessoas agem completamente diferente. Mas essa foi só uma troca de cultura mesmo pra mostrar pra vocês que existem coisas que são pequenas, mas que na vida do dia a dia a gente percebe essas pequenas coisinhas assim, culturais. Uma identidade de cada lugar de onde a gente tá e tudo mais.
I have one more thing I want to say because I remembered how to say something else in Portuguese. Eu gostosa. Gostosa? I am handsome.
Eu sou
gostosa.
Gostosa. There you go. Thank you, Jill, for being in today's video, guys. Maybe she'll be back. She's in a bunch of my videos if you guys want to see her. I'm gonna link all her social media on the description down below, and I'm also gonna put it right here on the screen.
Take a look at my sexy modeling pics.
E se você gostou do vídeo, não se esquece, deixa um joinha aqui. E se você ainda não é inscrito no canal, gente, se inscreve, vamos ajudar a crescer essa família. Eu vou trazer mais vídeos pra vocês. Deixem nos comentários se vocês gostaram do vídeo, quais são as opiniões de vocês, como que é na família de vocês, se vocês comem pizza com ketchup também, se isso é estranho, ou se vocês comem pizza com leite, sabe? Me contem esses detalhes que eu quero saber. Até mais, galera, a gente se vê. Tchau, tchau.
Tchau.
I think we did it.
No need for no UN arms inspection, you know where the bombs at.